Exercise is an easy word, and any physical activity that we do where there is a muscular contraction demanding energy to be brought in is a physical activity. But remember, exercise is not physical activity, but all physical activity cannot become exercise. There is a difference. Exercise has to be planned, structured to the requirement of the individual. Like you're going to take a walk from here going home, or take a cycle and go cycle for a distance. Your home is there when you have taken it from here to go, is a physical activity. Even snoring can be a physical activity. Because there is a muscular contraction that's happening and there's an energy demand for it. On a physiological basis, even snoring can be a physical activity, but it is not an exercise. But exercise is sort of specific to the requirement of the individual and has to be planned, structured for why you are doing the exercise, how much you can do, which can be safe enough to produce beneficial changes via specific adaptation to imposed demand. You are requiring a strength to be gained. You want endurance, able to run long distances. You want agility to move in different directions. There are specific requirements. Depending upon the requirement, the exercise prescription has to be made. Commonness, he prescribed an exercise, a repetition, and then there is a set, how many times you repeat that repetitions. So 10 repetitions, 3 sets. You have to understand when you do a repetition, whether it is fast, slow, or at a medium pace, and how much time taken for this repetition to be complete. So you may do the 10 push-ups in say 12 seconds. And if you do that in 11 seconds instead of 12, already the load is different. You don't have to make many changes. Don't have to even go and do 15 repetitions. If you are increasing the intensity of the exercise, automatically the load is different. Now, they have given a prescription that you need a recovery for 1 minute. The 1 minute is for the ATP to be reformed. What is ATP? It's a energy currency for us to do an anaerobic work like a push-up or an activity which doesn't require oxygen but can directly use the energy stores available in the muscle, which is the adenosine triphosphate, ATP. And we have the glucose that can be broken down in an anaerobic manner. It can produce 1 molecule of glucose and produce 2 molecules of ATP. So you remember, the same amount of glucose will, with oxygen availability, will produce 36 molecules of ATP. Keeping this in mind, when they prescribe, they have given a clarity on understanding what that anaerobic or aerobic exercise is, what is the recovery that is demanded for the muscle to be ready to do that work again. And when you alter these things, there is to make anything happen in the right way, there is it's like cooking, no? You can't put, just because you want it, you cannot add more sugar or more salt into it, because more salt is very good. It will remove the taste. So the outcome is the exercise, the beneficial changes, and also prevention of injuries. Both are hand in glove. Because you do it faster, do it quicker, it doesn't mean that you will derive the benefits, because that's why the specific adaptation, the demand has been fixed by the trainer, the physiotherapist, or a doctor for a requirement for athletes, for non-athletes. More so for athletes, very much so for the non-athletes. More so is because your working is only out towards that output. Here, the non-athletes are vulnerable because they feel if I do more, I will get more benefits. Do not. In fact, the injury will pull you out of that exercising sector and also make you feel that exercise is not for me. That's a wrong impression. So ensure that exercise prescription is adhered to like a medical prescription. You can't take more tablets because it's great for 10 days. I'll put all the tablets in one go. How come you understand that? No. Similarly, exercise is also like a medicine prescribed with the right amount with perfect gap between one and the other. You don't swallow or write it one tablet 3 times a day after food. Even if you're going to have it before food, it's damaging. Similarly, in an order of exercise, as well as the intensity of the exercise, the repetitions of the exercise, and the gap between the sets, they're all fixed. If they don't fix it, you have to ask questions, how much should be this gap? So very important when you are writing a schedule that the recovery is vital for adaptations to happen. So all this is done only for the sake of adaptation. What is adaptation? Whatever introduction that you are doing through an exercise, those changes must be possible for the body not to be threatened anymore. It feels it's a normal day-to-day activity. It's accustomed to it. Like if I'm doing 10 push-ups on a regular basis, in the upper body, I can increase it by 5 to 10%. In the lower body, 10 to 20%. If you increase more than that, then it is not called as overload. It will move on to a phase where an injury is possible. Unfortunately, again, overload is a beneficial principle where you are accustomed to that 10. If you increase it to 12 or 14, no problem, maximum. Beyond that, it is not allowing the body to adjust to the demand on a repetitive manner, either for that same day or a few days later. It will be an injurious one. How to avoid it? Okay, so if you remember that you do not take medications prescribed to you, 1 tablet 3 times, you don't put 6 tablets at a go and don't have to take it for 2 days. No. The same principle you have to understand.